All right, guys. It's Wednesday time. It's 10 o'clock. If you're in Vic or New South Wales, but wherever you are in the world, welcome to another Q&A. If you're watching this one on YouTube, guys, and if you're watching the recording, as always, don't forget to subscribe, like the videos, drop comments. Like, we're always happy to reply to the comments, guys, as well. If you're a face-to-face personal trainer working in a gym, all right, you are in the right place. And it is that simple, because here at Pinnacle, that's what we specialize in help with, right? Growing businesses of face-to-face PTs. And it's that simple. And also the couple of mobile guys that are here that are also crushing it. I mean, you mobile guys are actually doing better than some of our face-to-face trainers in gyms at the moment, boys. So leading from the front, well done. Aaron, 250K Club is knocking on the door. So let's get that one done. And guys, with that being said, we're going to roll through into announcements. Now, there's a few announcements with new content. So what I'm going to do is just get up my little notes here. So most of this stuff is leverage content, guys. But first and foremost, we have got two brand new marketing strategies. Two brand new marketing strategies, both organic, both tested, both proven, work well. So that can be found in school. With that being said as well, welcome Rubes as well. Great to see you, brother. Good to see you, my man. Good to see you. And hopefully you're well, bro. So we've got two new marketing strategies, guys. New info. You just come on board, Rubes, in time for announcement of new content. So we've got two new marketing strategies. That's launched inside school, inside your marketing section. With that being said as well, we have got 4 new modules that are now strike-ified, as it were. So all polished up and ready to go. Trainer calendar management. So for Tanya, for you, all right, trainer calendar management. So we've polished this training on this. So Tan, check that out if you need to do that with your new trainer who's come on board. Payments and invoicing as well. So we talk about payments and invoicing, the importance of pay rising staff, incremental pay rises, how to give them bonuses and commissions, incentivization structures, everything like that. That's now live in Leverage. A complete brand new coaching product. So for those of you here who are leveraged, and again, Michael, you just taking all this in, brother, this is great for you to hear. When we leverage the business, we create a coaching experience here at Pinnacle. So not only do you get a face-to-face trainer, but you're getting a face-to-face trainer that will take your personal training sessions, but then you're getting an online coach as well. We've built this out into a new complete product, which enables you to then pay rise your clientele. So there is training now as well on how to correctly rise your prices. Now, guys, if any of you, or a show of hands, have any of you seen, Aaron, have you ever looked at that how to rise your prices training before we used to do? You haven't? Okay, the rest of you won't have done. We've actually taken old training and just polished it. So we've given you a lot of different structures of how to pay rise your clients depending on the situation you're in. So if you are like Aaron, like Sam, like Tanya, and also like Monica, who's jumping on now, like Michael, who are leverage trainers with staff, right? Welcome, Mon. Hopefully you're good. This training shows you how to price rise correctly for staff, right? So if you've got staff, but we've also got for people here, just like Chad, and Cassie as well. So you're coming into this bracket, Ron, Ruben. If you're looking to price rise existing clientele and you don't have staff, so there's 2 price rise templates, new training that's in there. Just for you, Mon, as well, because this is really important. New content that's come out. How to correctly price rise. Okay, it's in the leverage content. Hey Ray, hopefully you're doing good. How to correctly price rise. We've talked then about the new product, which is there, that's launched, payments and invoicing, trainer calendar management as well. So that's all there for you. I think that's really right up your street. And then 2 new marketing strategies that we launched last week as well. So just recapping on that. That is everything. With that being said, as always, if you have any questions about anything, interrupt me. I don't care if you're rude, or just put your hand up and let's get going. It's a Q&A session. There's always questions, guys, so don't be shy. Take yourself off mute. Today, it's anything goes about anything to do with anyone's fitness business questions. Where are they at? There are questions. All right, it's time to wrap it up and let's move on. There's always so. Where's Tane when you need Tane, right? Where's Tane when you need him? Rubes, how's everything going with you, man? Where are you up to with everything? And hopefully you're better, man. I know you had a really bad migraine last week, dude. So yeah, how's things?
Yeah, good. just got on top of that migraine sort of Monday night, so feeling sort of 90% now. Moving forward with things now, got like a lot more momentum for the week, and yeah, I'm now confident with like the 30-minute sessions. Gonna get a couple of consultations in, so yeah, it's good.
Cool, perfect. Now, on that as well, there's a few new clients that should be tuning in as well. So in case these guys do, if not on record, it's worth saying this. We sell blocks of time, right? The best way, and this is just great info for anyone who's not a client watching this on YouTube or anything, right? If you're a face-to-face personal trainer, people don't care about how much time they spend with you. All they care about is how much money they pay you. And that is it. It's that simple. It's tested and proven. I was telling a guy this morning in the US, and it kind of blew his mind when he was like, oh, I could actually up my rates quite easily by charging slightly more, but then doing 30-minute sessions rather than he was trying to charge hours, right? If you sell an hour at 100, right, but half an hour at 60, I guarantee you will have people gravitate towards the 60, even though the hourly rate is better. So just remember, Rubes, that what we're doing here, you don't have to sell 30-minute sessions. We price it in 30-minute blocks. But with that being said, what we're doing is using gold and silvers where they're getting 330s or 230s, which you can use as. So 330s can be split up into 3 30-minute sessions, 1 hour plus a half, or 2 45s, right? Depending on the client that you're coaching, you can delegate that time up. But the main thing is that you're obviously not over-delivering, right, when it comes to your time, and like a lot of people like discounting their sessions the less time or the more time people take, right? So a lot of people do an hour session at like 100, but their half will be 60. Your hour should be 120, but the hours are harder to sell. So that's why we break it down. Welcome, Dan. Hopefully you're well, my man. And welcome, Cam. Hopefully you're well. So yeah, hopefully that helps, Rubes. Do you get the concept of selling like blocks of time? Because that's the most
100%. That makes complete sense. And like already I've got my 2-on-1s. They're paying me $100 for 45 minutes. So it's perfect. So yeah.
Spot on, brother. It's awesome. In relation to that, again, while I'm just here speaking to you, bro, is there anything that you're up to in school that you want clarity on, or anything? Like, obviously, you've been on board with this for a couple of weeks. Like, dude, there is no such thing as a stupid question, man. Honestly, and all these guys here, they don't bite.
Not really. I mean, I guess it's just still like up to me figuring out what I'm going to do with like my systems of all of the forms and stuff. So I had 2 people reach out. One of them said folders. Another one said Adobe, get them all into Adobe. And I like the Adobe system, but I need to figure out how to do that. So I'm just working on that at the moment.
So this is holding all of your documents for your clients, PT session log, pre-exercise.
Yeah.
All right. So the main, so basically, guys, Trainerize is the most popular application that people will use for coaching clients. However, managing clients' data, all right, managing clients' data. Does anyone do anything different other than using a drive, right? Does anyone do anything different? Do you know, this would be great for Michael. I know you're babysitting Michael, and I know we're only just recently connected, mate. But if you can, come off mute.
It's okay. What's up?
Yeah. How do you manage your clients' data? So, such as all the paperwork and forms. Are you doing it digitally? Are you doing it in paper fashion? How do you do things in your business? Because you're 2 trainers deep, leverage business. So
sure. I go paperless 100% on all aspects. That way I've got no chance of losing anything, and legal documents are all there.
Yep.
I've got all joining forms and terms and conditions online by jot form, but you can also use type form.
Yes.
It takes a digital signature, and that's a specific type of digital signature that's legally binding in Australia. So there's no concerns of needing it on paper.
Perfect. Look, I mean, type form, there's a lot of that. Thanks for that info as well, brother.
Yeah.
Like that'll help Rubes as well. Type form is great. You could some external ones for Sam as well. Cognito forms in the UK is quite popular as well. These can be used for check-in forms, but I love what you said there, Mike, as well, mate, about the signature, which is legally binding in Australia. So it just protects your business along with the T's and C's that we give you, and obviously any contracts that you have as well. So yeah, hopefully that helps you. Anyone want to add anything to that? I mean, this is good value. Ray, what did we use? I always forget the name of it.
DocHub, you can DocHub. You can upload all your forms into that, and when you complete one and fill one out online, it sends it to you in an email, so it goes into your email, so you don't lose it.
Correct.
That's the one I use.
.cub is the one you use too, Ray, right? That's it. .cub, check that out. That's also signature, right? So this is like, and again, guys, like what we're doing here now at Pinnacle, we've said this for the last few weeks. Face-to-face will never die. It'll never die. There's people that are coming into the gyms that need to be educated on how to lift before they can then even get to the stage where they're motivated enough to train on their own, like we do as PTs, right? We take the action, we train. So there's going to be a need for them. But what we're coaching here is we're digitalizing and kind of building our face-to-face businesses into, you know, very hybrid model businesses where there's a lot of online management stuff, a lot of digital applications, and we're keeping up with the times of that stuff. So definitely, yeah, paperless society is where we're going, and obviously having it digitally. And then ideally, guys, you get one of these bad boys and your whole business runs off one of these. That's all you have. You get yourself a tablet, your whole business will run off a tablet. If you've got multiple gym locations, which obviously Nathan, who's in 3 locations, has got here, like you can have an iPad per location. All right, you have it locked with a passcode that only you and your staff know, and it can stay behind the desk, and you've got everything on there. Again, Typeform, Jotform, Cognito forms, Google Drive, any of this stuff, all on one of these, Rubes. That's ideally what you need, but you can aim towards that if you're getting up and running, because the most important for us to do, the most important thing for us to do, mate, is market. And we want to start smashing some sessions and some growth. How far away are you, bro, from getting to a marketing launch standpoint?
I don't exactly know what you mean by that, but close. Like I'm basically done all of this stuff. Like I just need to make that decision. And by the way, thanks everyone for giving me the input. I appreciate that. Yeah, so once I do that, like pretty much next week, bro, I reckon.
Sick. All right, so work with Jude. Obviously, you've got Jude on Voxer. What we need to just make sure and bring this up with Jude, because he's busy on doing calls at the moment, I'm pretty sure. With that being said, make sure that if he recommends you to run a strategy like internally on the floor, right? So we have like Substack and training pack giveaways, floor to the floor strategies, like all these sorts of strategies. You'll get great return, especially in good life where you are. But we've got to be careful with the time of year clashing with the Christmas and New Year's marketing marathon that we've got coming up. Because when we market at this time of year, brother, it's the best time. It's the best time. Like anyone here that's like yourself, Ruben, Michael as well, who's tuning in today, and other new clients that have just jumped on board this week. You've come on board or potentially are coming on board at a very, very good time. Cassie, it's also a great time for us to be alive as well, because we're going to finally now get to work. So yeah, that's it. Just work closely with him, Rubes, and anything you need from me, brother, hit me up in school. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Appreciate that.
Any other questions, guys? That was good to kickstart some conversation. Let's have a look at this chat. Okay, that's all Sam. Questions about anything to do with anything, guys?
What does everyone do with no-shows?
Great question. It's a great question. There's two.
I've had a couple. I'm just curious.
Yeah. All right. So there's actually, we discussed this in some recent training. Again, when I say recent training, it's all existing training, but we've just Strike-ified it, right? So just modernized it and brought it up to speed with Strike. So handling no-shows, there's 2 ways in which you can do this. And we do discuss this in leverage. And this is really important for Cassie. We're going to look into this. Monica, at the moment, we're looking into this. Tanya, we're looking into this. Like you guys need to check this out in terms of payments and invoicing. So go into payments and invoicing inside the leverage and management section. And this shows how you can make sure that your trainers correctly are looked after when clients no-show, and how to pay them and how to make that work. But for you, Chad, it's simple. What's the terms and condition policy that you've got inside in terms of a cancellation duration or cancellation notice in your T's?
24 hours.
24. Okay. So what are you talking about? People that cancel within the 24 or outside the 24?
Outside the 24.
Outside the 24 is simple. Just reschedule them.
Just send them a link, say reschedule it.
Now, when you say send them a link, this is good. Are you using Calendly for your clients?
I'm trying to.
right?
Trying to.
Okay.
Because I did used to use Set More, which did it all for me. That one was actually pretty good, but it doesn't have the features that Calendly does.
So what features does it lack? Because the main feature that Calendly lacks is it doesn't have the ability to reoccurringly book clients, right?
That's what Set More could do. And you could also have staff in it as well.
Okay. So what does Set More lack that Calendly has?
So you know how you can organize a result specific kickstart, and then you got to write in there, you know, what's your fitness goal, what's this, and then it links it over to your Facebook. It doesn't have that.
Okay. All right. So look, first and foremost, like, don't recommend, you need to, your clients, like, it's really simple. Like, even though there's so many apps out there, you can use Google Calendar to do everything for you. And all you're doing inside your Google Calendar is really simple, guys. Like, let me do a quick tour here. You can see the screen. So go into your calendar, and then basically, like, if you go inside here, any appointment, all I want you to do is just add in guests, their email here, right? And then what will happen is, if that's a reoccurring booking, which it is weekly on a Thursday, you can see there, this is just a webinar, social media webinar that we have on a Thursday at 4 till 5 p.m, weekly on a Thursday. Add guests to it. What that will do is, on your iPhone, just like I probably have got here, there you go. So there's a push notification saying marketing mastery, which starts inside, you know, another 35 minutes, which we're going to flow into after this webinar. That personally is how I would recommend all of you guys to manage bookings, because of, like, with paid clients, like, paid clients don't need to be reminded of something that they're paying for, right? However, if you want to, Google Calendar is the best way to just do that. Obviously, we use Google Calendar for multiple layer purposes. So if you've got trainers, right, like, again, many of you guys have got here, you've got a layer for each trainer. You can toggle them on and off. You can delegate sessions. You can convert people, because we focus on the sales here, right, and the marketing. Then you're going to fill your trainers' your trainers' calendars up. You can then invite the person to that, and it just works like that. The best thing as well for this, guys, is that it keeps overhead costs low, right? But with that being said, if you want to use any paid software, you can. Like, Google Calendar, though, it's what I use to get up to like 192 sessions or whatever. Never did me wrong at all. It's scalable, it's free, and that's pretty much that. I don't think anybody else here that's clients that I know uses anything other than Google Calendar.
Okay.
Maybe Cass, but we haven't discussed that. Nate, you're all Google Calendar, right? Yeah. So yeah, Google Calendar. If they cancel within
I use Google Calendar.
You use Google Calendar as well, Cass. Michael as well. I don't know whether you can chip in here, brother. Again, it's just great to pick people's brains.
I've got a complete management system that I'm paying for.
CRM.
It's got all client programs and appointments and scheduling in one.
Awesome. What CRM are you using?
It's called PT Enhance.
Okay, use PT Enhance. Okay, how did you find it?
I don't use it as a CRM, so to speak, for lead management.
Yep.
But for client management, because it's designed for check practitioners, and that's sort of what I do.
Yeah, awesome work. Awesome stuff. Look, again, guys, there's that. Like, you can go, so PT Enhance, PT Minder. What's the other one as well? There's one in the States which is really popular. MindBody is another one. And they have a lot of, like, I mean, that's how I know, Cam, obviously you're state-based, but like, a lot of people in the States, they'll run their direct debits through MindBody as well. So there's that. There is endless opportunities, guys. At the end of the day, the main thing is that we want to minimize the back-end handling of your business to ensure that you are saving as much time as possible, right? And here's the thing, Chad. If you've got Simon booked in for 3 sessions a week, he gives you 24 hours notice and cancels, right, for one of them. You click that session, you drag it to the next week, it'll automatically push notify Simon of a reschedule, and that's it. So he'll tell you, oh, can you do whatever time next week? Yep, done. Boom, move it into where you allocate slots to be taken, which I think is another opener for another topic of conversation. Always make sure you're putting the clients where you ideally want them. Like, it's very common that a lot of trainers will just give up free reign of their calendar. And then over time, what will happen is they'll find that their calendars just get like completely stacked. Like they're stacked, but they're not condensed. They're all over the place. And it's because you've given flexibility to your clients to choose where they want to be trained, when the chances are is that you're busier than they are. And therefore, if you said, hey, I've got Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday at 4, 6, and 7, which is best for you, that they'll be more flexible than you. They'll go into a slot then where you've sort of guided them towards, if that makes sense. Yeah, sweet. Cool. All right, that's that. Any other questions, guys, that come to mind of anything? Otherwise, I'm just going to talk to people randomly here. It's good if you don't have questions because it shows everyone's good and everyone's looked after. Nath, how are we rocking and rolling in Windsor Gardens, bro?
Good. I first consult yesterday, got the silver sign up.
Boom. Wouldn't expect anything less, mate. Well done. That's good.
So we are rocking and rolling. And I got the first sign up from the shot strategy this morning as well.
Nice. Post-workout shots. New strategy, guys. Organic strategy. Any high foot traffic gym like Nathan, obviously in a Derrimut, who got Good Life gyms, few of you guys here. Michael, Fitness First, I believe. Great strategy for you in there. Well done. Nice. Good stuff, Nate. Beautiful. Flawless. Did it kind of work nicely? How was the conversation at when you delivered the shot?
When I was delivering the shot, I just asked him what he's like, how his training is, usual mumbo jumbo. What do you train? Oh, this. He seemed a bit, unsure about the gym. So I just went straight in. Oh, how about 3 sessions? Yeah, actually, that sounds really good. Because he's been into the gym for like a month or 2 months, completely new. So obviously he'll take any advice he can get. And yeah, booked it in. Did the session. I did what you advised, do the consult at the start. I didn't really go through the questionnaire. I just looked for any injuries and do a very brief skim over his answers without going through it. So it's in my mind what he's looking for. Do the training session, 30 minutes, and I'm asking questions, so you want to be fitter, blah, blah, blah. Try and find what I call the hot button. Then at the end of it, knuckle down on it, find out what he really needs. And I was like, oh, how about this? He's like, yeah, that sounds good. Bang.
Good. I love the hot button as well. That was very good when you brought that up recently. The hot button works very well. Find a pain point, a hot button that you can use and press on when closing. It's basic sales, guys, but at the same time, it's just a very good analogy of how to bring people to a pain wall. And then when they're at the pain wall, use the hot button, that pain of obviously getting over that wall that they can't climb over without your help. And obviously it helps increase your conversion rates. So well done, Nath. That's great to see that we're off and running at the new location. Well done. And that's good. Tan, are we good? Still shadowing, tell show, watch going? Yeah, all good. You're always eating as well, so you don't have to come off mute. You're fine. Enjoy your food. And that's that. Questions? Anyone else? It is very good though if I don't have questions. It's great, but I just don't like having to try and think of what to say for half an hour.
I'll go, Simon.
Yes, thank you.
I feel like I'm a bit of a stalemate, to be honest.
Okay.
It's my own fault because I haven't been taking enough action. But what's happened is I've had clients like drop off. One dropped off suddenly, and then I've reached out to her and she hasn't got back to me. So I've just left it because I feel like, I don't know if you recall a while back when we had that lady that dropped off. Do you remember? And she sort of took it very, very personally, very, very early on in the piece.
Yes. The good was it a long-term? The long-term client.
Yeah, she was a long-term one. For this one, we kind of had a really not a good last session. Yeah. And I know that she complains a bit, so I obviously haven't read into it. I feel I probably didn't read into it. It was more to it than what I'd expected. But she sort of just sent me a text to say she was stopping, and it just kind of threw me. So I said it. I was very honest in my email back to her. I said, I kind of feel bad that things have ended like this. We haven't had a chance to discuss what's going on. She had 2 sessions that she paid for. I said, I'm happy to, have these go to the end of November. And, in a nice way, and she never got back to me. So I've let it go because I can't really do any more about it. But then it's kind of set this funny tone up. So I had her drop off. I had a couple drop off early, but then I've had people come on. Like my last 4 consults, I've signed up for silvers, which is awesome. But I feel like I'm going like that. I'm not moving ahead, and then it's kind of, I feel in myself that I feel like kind of not up there. And then my floor to the floor, I have not done that.
Yeah,
I've gone out to talk to people and done there, but I just know I need to get to the gym more. So, which I'll be doing, and I have done. When I've done that, it's been awesome, you know. But I've still been getting leads, but it's just not at where I should be for me to progress forward.
Right. I think first and foremost, action is on, like, you know, the action's on you, so that's fine. Like at the end of the day, it is. I'm not going to babysit you with that. It's on you to take the action. And that's that. With that being said, though, and obviously we know what to do. We've polished it to like a point of no more polishing, so that's fine.
Yep.
However, what you will find, Ron, do you want to weigh in on this, Ron? Is that go on.
So I found, like, I've got one of my clients dropping off, and that's purely because her and her partner want to save up for other things. Her priorities have changed. So I was like, oh, okay, I'm not a priority anymore. I accepted that. But where I looked when I wouldn't say fail, where I don't succeed, because it's not a fail, it's a don't succeed. Some people are just brick walls and you can't run through them. All right. I've looked for my other clients and to make sure that they're okay to go, hey, I'm actually doing well. All right. When certain things go wrong in your life, you can have 1, 2, 3 small things go wrong. But when a lot of them weigh up going, oh, I feel like I'm going nowhere, I've looked at where I've actually put my time and effort. As you've said, you've been a bit lazy on the floor to the floor and stuff like that. You've accepted that. Let's move forward with that. But also look at what you're doing right as well. All right. Don't look at where you've gone wrong and where you need to improve on that. Look at what you're doing right. You know, you're doing everything else right. Accept that and remember that. Don't always focus on the negatives. Focus on the positives as well. Otherwise, you're going to end up negative. All right. We want to end up positive. Focus on what you're doing right, not wrong.
Well, it's very well said, Ron. Very, very well said. Very good words of encouragement, brother. Thank you for weighing in. And Ron's right as well. Don't beat yourself up at all, because you got to keep yourself motivated, right? But here's the thing. There is a level, I hit this level personally, where a lot of PTs that do the work to get content and comfortable, right? So we don't have very many clients, like, honestly, it's probably, I can only think of 1 or 2 that get to a level of which they're struggling, right? Everyone grows with us here to a level of comfort, right? So there's sort of like 3 levels. You've got comfort, you've then got successful and fully booked, banging your head off the ceiling, and then you've got leveraged and fulfilled, where you get time rich and cash rich, right? And like, ironically, we're blessed to have 50% of the people on this webinar have trainers, potentially. Yeah, I'd say 50%, right? So when you get to this level of comfort, right? And this level of comfort could be the level where you're paying your bills, you're paying the rent at the gym, you've got some money in your pocket, and you're saving a couple $100 a week, right? That's a comfort level. When you're at this level, being content is the most dangerous place you could ever be as a business owner. The reason why is because it makes you be stable and stagnant, right? And what happens to stagnant water, right? Stagnant water in a pond turns to green and it goes to shit, right? And that's what happens. That is what happens with your business if you don't continue to advance the momentum into it. And it's also what content does. You can also get content at 250K, 500K, $250,000, 7 figures. You can still get content at that level. So when you're not pushing your business forward, the only way naturally it will go is backwards. So you'll find, and this is the worst thing you can do, is take advantage of the security of the relationships that you believe are there. Whereas we know that every single client that you have, no client lasts forever. None of them. So don't ever take that for granted and always take action to push it forward. Tan, do you want to weigh in on this as well? Is that what you know, or is it a separate question?
It's a separate question.
Okay, cool. So does that make sense, Ray? Do you think, like, I know it's personal, but again, obviously...
Yeah, no, it does make sense. Me personally and myself, I'm actually not even at that comfortable level, but of course I have Darren as that's filling that or helping me financially. So I'm not even at that. So I think it's more a mindset thing, and like Ron said, I focus on her, and then I let it go, but it made me think, okay, well, I make sure I'm looking after all the other people, and then seeing what else I can do, and as I said, I've had I've had 4 new ones start within the last 2-3 weeks. So
it's great.
I'm just going to focus. Yeah, exactly. That's great. So that's what I'm going to focus on, and I'm just going to keep keeping them up, up to scratch.
Focus on, like, statistically, it is far cheaper to retain clients than go and find rather than go find new ones statistically. However, I mean, with us here, like, not blowing smoke at everyone's backsides here, but you guys find clients like that. So it is because of the strategies, the sales, everything like that. So you guys can gain them easily, but don't ever take them for granted, right? Always. And here's the thing, you're approaching, Ray, what is the hardest time to be a PT. The hardest time to be a PT is when you're in between the income bracket of 75k per year and around about 150. If you were to go like 75 to 150, so in between 1,000 to 1,500 bucks a week, right, all the way then up to 2 to 3k per week. It's the hardest time because your time is getting more and more rare to come by. So you're getting busier, but you are still needing to market, sell, generate leads, close, put those people into slots, which you've got to find somehow, before what we then do, which is crush through the fully booked ceiling, which is a limitation that a lot of people think is the end of being a PT. It is the beginning. And obviously people like Nathan, people like Sam, people like Aaron, people like Michael Wilson, who's here with us today as well, know that if you have leverage, you are loving life, right? And you're loving running a business. So I think what we've got to do is you just got to take the action to get there. And it's that simple. We're coming into this busy time where the lead flow is going to increase, but we've got to, like, if you need to message me, Ray, anything like that, obviously just reach out about the action taking capability, because it's very, very hard when also you have security from partners, you have security. Like if everyone here won the lottery tomorrow, I guarantee your action taking ability would just dip, because financially, right, which we're all here to become financially secure and stable and successful, because we're running businesses as entrepreneurs, is what we're focused on doing, right? Even though it's a byproduct of being passionate about being a PT and helping people, right? So if you have financial security, you'll find your action taking credentials dip. Don't be like that. Like, you got to try and push it, right? You got to try and push it. So that's that. Hopefully that helps. And again, there's no rest for the wicked here. Like your volume, send me your tracker. Do you know what I mean? Send me your tracker. Let's have a look, because if you signed up 3 or 4 people in the last 2 or 3 weeks, it shows that your volume is probably okay. And it just shows that what we need to do is increase it.
Yeah, my volume has actually been quite down, but yeah, I've just been
so
fortunate.
If your volume's down, it shows your conversion rate's high, which is fucking up the volume, and then you're laughing. You are your own worst enemy, darling. And it's
I know.
right? So that's that. Tan, what have you got?
So my question was, I've probably seen about, like, I don't know, 200 people now for consultation.
Yeah.
And I had a couple who I ended up signing, like, in the last couple of weeks, who I saw like a few months ago. And I was just wondering if there was like a proper process that, like, do you run them through another consultation? Because basically what I did, I was like, well, I've already seen them already. I know what they can do. So their second consult, I just asked them, it was just a sit down and talk question, like, hey, what's gone wrong? You tried it yourself. Why are you back? Sort of thing.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So have they've reached out to you to reconnect after what was their excuse the first time for not going ahead? Was it just lack of priority, obviously? And
one of them was a shift worker, so she's a nurse, and she was working night times, and she was like, oh, it's a little bit out of my budget. She just finished studying as well, and then she was straight into the workforce, and she told me it's a budgeting thing. And I'll see how I go with my schedule. but obviously that didn't work. And so she just reached out again, like, please help me. The other one was she just found the gym too intimidating. Like it was just, she told me it was just too big and like, I don't want to be here.
Yep.
But she's then realized that like she actually needs to put the work in and not just, and she's going through menopause as well. And so obviously it's a little bit hard for her to lose the weight now. And she's just realized like, if I don't do anything right now, then I won't see any changes and I need your help. She's basically said to me.
Yeah, no, 100%. Look, they have, this is what happens, guys, when you leave people, right? Or you let people leave with open arms. Like never, like the approach that we take so firmly here, as everyone knows all too well, is you let people in with open arms and you let them leave with open arms if they're not ready to prioritize their health and fitness goals. That's what it is. The worst thing you could do, I did a live video yesterday in the PT Business Blueprint group on this. It's like the worst thing you can do is just objection handle. Like you see, if you didn't drink like that cup of coffee that you're spending $5 on a day, you'd be able to do a PT session once every week or fortnight, right? This is the worst thing you can ever do. These guys have come back to you because you handled the situation well, and they've now realized, right? And this is what I love as well about my position. I do not hard sell fucking anybody. And I'm being blunt, but it's that simple. I do not do it. Like, I don't hard sell. The reason why, I don't need to, because I know for a fact that if the pain isn't big enough now, it will get greater in the future. Unless someone finds another business coach that they might resonate with a little bit better. But in our niche, we know that we're the front runners. So I know that they're going to come back. And when they come back, they'll be in a, like you're finding, Tan, a worse position than what they were before. They're probably regretful that they didn't take the action with you earlier on. And then now, obviously, you're in menopause. Obviously, they may have been menopausal like before, but they're now coming to you. All you've got to do is just tell them, let's get going. That's all you've got to just close them. Like, these are the people that have come back. Like, a lot of people, and that shows, that's massive credential. Big props to those guys. A lot of people, they don't like to show up again after, you know, Simon or Tanya has said, look, your business, you're lacking in this and this and this in your business. You're lacking in this and this and this in your health and fitness journey. If you're Tanya, here's the solution. Let's go. Right. And if it's not a priority for them right then they won't go ahead. For them to actually turn around and come back, it like, real talk, it knocks a lot of people's pride to actually go and ask for help when they know that you were right before, right? So you obviously handled it really well, Tan, and now that they've come back, just say, look, no, it's time to rock and roll. Let's go. Which is best for you, gold or silver? Get them up and running, and then just pour your love and intensity into those clients, and you'll smash them. You know, does that help a bit, Tan? Yeah, Ron, you want to weigh in on that?
Yeah, just try to take myself off mute. So I found with clients like that, I had a guy that, well, his mate was like, I'm going to reach out. Took him about 4 weeks to actually reach out because he was so anxious. Even stepping through the gym doors, he was like, oh, shit. But now he's coming in here by himself. And look, he's still sticking to his cardio area. That's the way I structured that from what he said the other day. And he's like, I'm still getting a bit anxious. And I was like, yeah, but bro, you got to remember, you're stepping through those doors. That's the first success. It doesn't matter what you do in the gym. You're stepping through those doors. And when we're together, I can't stress the point enough that how less anxious he feels that we're together.
Yeah.
So he feels he needs me more. I'll go, mate, we've stepped over to the weights area. You're walking through those doors. We're talking together face to face, and you won't notice how busy the gym gets. And I love to point that out. When we're in the weights area, there'll be like 2 or 3 people. Yep, no worries. And then it will get to, say, you're 15 and 20. And I'm like, mate, you're not anxious anymore, are you? He goes, no, I didn't even notice all these people. Bang, it's because he's with me. All right, I stress that point a little bit, not word it like that, but in a way, just word it like that because, you know, he goes, oh, it is better with you. Fantastic. You know, he's going to want to keep going with me.
100% right.
Well,
100% right. You're going to, you know, this is what Tan will obviously see with these clients. And like Tan has a fully booked schedule of clients. Where is she? Oh, she's there. Like she's leveraged. She has a trainer working for her who's in training at the moment. Like Tan knows this, but Ron's completely right. With you, they will feel better. They're more comfortable. Like And that's obviously what your job is to do, is to highlight that to people that feel nervous around training in an environment like the gym, that they're not that comfortable in. So again, well said, Ron. Well said, mate. Tash, how are you? Everyone's always eating in the webinars, aren't they? Making me hungry.
I'm good. How are you, Simon?
Always good, Dal. Always good.
All right. Just a quick one. I did put it in the chat in the discussion. I'm at the position with my calendar's usually pretty booked, or I'm almost at that point with being fully booked.
Yes, congrats. You're crushing it. Well done.
How obviously we're looking at trying to do reschedules and stuff. If our clients are sick, I'll try and reschedule them as much as I can. How do we go about, obviously, if our calendars are at that point where we have limited space, we can't reschedule them, whether it be us being sick ourselves. I'll always have an option. If I'm not well, I can try and train them virtually at any point. But I'm at that point where I'm now getting to the point where I'm actually struggling to be able to try and reschedule. Like, I'll say, look, I'll try. Like, if it happens to be, it's like say a 6:30 slot in the morning, for example, or if someone cancels or whatever, I'll let you know. I can probably try and fit you in, but just not having that availability to then being able to obviously reallocate time. How do we go about that? And obviously with the direct debits and stuff like that, how do we go about that? Obviously not being able to fulfill the service.
Yeah, look, thanks for bringing that up, because I can see, I'm looking at the submit a question post now, and I can see you have submitted this. So, like, this is a great question. Look, it shows first and foremost, Tash, that you're nearing and you nearly need leverage, right? And that's what we're pushing for in the new year. To be really honest with you as well, isn't it ironic that as soon as you've had this conversation with the gym and it's gone well, look what's happened, like straight away, like everything's coming to light now. So it's great. Look, if there's no slots left, Tash, then pause the debits. Like, you can do an earn and burn principle with it, so that, like,
that's what my expert I'm trying to do, is the whole earn and burn component to it. And that's what I'm generally doing for most people if they're going away on, if they're going on holidays, or if I'm going away, trying to do that whole earn and burn. So therefore, I've over delivered, so to speak, so that they don't have to worry about pausing their payments. That way, there's money still coming through. So yeah, that's how I'm trying. That's how I'm processing with it at the moment. But yeah, like, I'm at that point. Like I said, obviously, like if I'm pretty, like, there's a couple of clients that are very late cancellations, and I've given them the warning saying, look, I'll try, but there's no guarantee. And there's two that basically have been very late cancellations, and I said, look, this is just not on. I'm charging you for the session because it's within the 24 hours, which they're aware of. But like I said, the circumstances between client to client, I know which ones are pulling my leg, which ones are genuine. So it's basically, that's it. I'm really open about it, but it's just at that point where I was like, well, do I then, obviously we can't obviously charge them for something we haven't delivered, but obviously, like I said, I'm at that point that I'm at the point where I can leverage
something you haven't delivered, Tash. You can charge them for something you haven't delivered if within your T's and C's you specify it's a 12 or 20 power. Like, here's the thing, Tash. This is a great question because it shows you're nearing the ceiling, right? You've got some momentum at the moment, and you're starting to see what you recognize in these little 6 or 7 levels here, or whatever many levels before you hit the ceiling. One of them is time starts getting sparse, cancellations, where can I fit these people in? Marketing, where have I got the time to do this anymore? Cancellations, again, you've just got to stick to the T's and C's and just tell them you're fully booked. Like, it's lucrative for you to tell trainers as well the truth, which is you are becoming fully booked. And if you miss your session, I'm sorry, unless you tell me within the 24 hours. What I personally did is I recommend you let it slide once, guys. So just say, look, I'll let this one slide. After that, I can't do it. They value it as long as you stand up for yourself. And if you tell people that, this is what the situation is with my time, and you're only going to see more and more of this now until you leverage. So that's what you'll see. Hopefully that kind of makes sense.
Because I've always mentioned, as far as my T's and C's, when I've had the discussion, particularly for those that are like my early morning sessions, and I say, look, I said, look, I'm up at 4:30 in the morning or whatever. And I said, even if they become unwell overnight, or if they feel like they're starting to become unwell 24, 48 hours prior to a session, let me know. And even if it's like 2 o'clock in the morning, things happen, or they've got kids where the kids have been sick or whatever. It's like, as soon as you know, let me know, because that way at least I can see what I can do. I can see if I can reschedule. It's when I've had people either not show, or they've messaged me like an hour before or whatever. That's not on. But I understand things happen. I said, look, I got my phone's on silent from 9 o'clock of a night, just so I can try and have that downtime, just so I can sort of get my sleep back in some sort of order. But even if, as long as they message me and I see it's come through at 9:30, 10, 10:30, 11, they've let me know. So therefore, I'm more than happy to sort of try and do what I can. But it's just the last minute ones that are, or the constant no shows, or the late ones. Then it's like, well, I'm charging you anyway. So
like Tash, remember this. So you've got yourself back up close to that ceiling, as close as we've been. You can please some of the people all of the time, all the people some of the time. You can never please everyone all of the time. You're going to see that like, because your volume's increasing, you're going to see a lot more people that are flaky. It's what happens. Like, I mean, if you're on a Netflix level, you're going to lose thousands of people per week as clients, right? But with Netflix, they have millions of subscribers, and that's how it works. It's that simple. So you've just got to stand by your terms and conditions that we've created for you. They're there to protect you, and stand by them, but be nice. Don't be like, right, that's it. You're 5 minutes overtime, so I'm going to charge, got to be nice. That's it.
There's one other quick one that's a recent thing that's just come up within the last 48 hours with us. So we're renting, and we've now been told that our owner wants to move into our place. So we're in the position now. We're in the position now where we're having to work out, obviously trying to be as close to the gym as possible, but we're obviously for space and stuff, and what obviously the Melbourne rental market is at the moment for us. We're in the position.
It's a great rental market. I don't know what you're talking. It's an amazing rental market, isn't it?
So we're in the position, like, obviously being around South Bank, South Melbourne sort of area close to the gym. But the majority of them like to try and find the space that we've currently got is pretty much near impossible, or the rent's just ridiculous. But whereas we are looking at potentially, so obviously of us being in PTs, would you try and want to stay as close to your gym as possible to obviously reduce travel, or would you be able to move out further so you've got the space? Because the space side of things is like, we go out and we can probably afford the rent, or
Tash, my position with your partner, Anthony. I don't think he should be doing what he's doing. I've told you this for over a year. Right? I've told him this for over a year. Right? And this isn't nasty. It is the truth. Right? It is the truth. Obviously, like, if it was personal and I wasn't, like, I'd say it in a private forum, but this is the thing. If you go to, because Anthony runs private sessions from the house, right? If you lose that house, this is the universe forcing you guys to make a decision. What's happening here, right, is this. You are the primary income earner with being a near fully booked PT. If you want to be close to the gym, which you deserve to be as that primary income earner, and have a place where there's going to be enough room for you to set up a home studio so your partner can continue to take however many sessions per week he's doing, but it's not as many as you're going to be paying at least $1,000 a week in rent, right? If you're not wanting to pay that, and fuck me, like, honestly, rent in Melbourne, if you go down further southeast towards where, like, I am, and in this pocket, it's disgusting, right? But with that being said, you get what you pay for. If you want to still have the income status where Anthony's making what he's making, contributing, then you've got to move further away. But the trade-off is that you're further away. Like, honestly, what I would be doing is this. I would be getting Anthony to come on board with you in any time. That is your first leverage trainer. You bring you move closer to the gym. He's gonna have to sacrifice the people that are working at home with him in the home gym. But there's not many of them. And then you guys take over that club. That's what I'd be doing. Or he goes into a similar location, which we can source for you in and around that pocket. I've said it for so long. He'd do so well. He'd do amazingly well. But has he got his certs? Has he got a cert?
That's well, they can't relocate it. That's a stalemate. So he's at the point where he's going to have to re-go and redo his certs.
Yeah, perfect. So that's
which is another. So at the moment, that's the plan, is being able to get that up and going.
Yeah.
To get those done. So we were banging our heads against a brick wall up in Brisbane about it, but we just got to the point. So we're at that point. We can't wait any longer. We've got to now make that decision, and then just try. I mean, he'll breeze through it, but yeah, just to get that.
It's frustrating. Done. It was, who is it? Sage, wasn't it?
Sage, yeah. He
so
did the diploma.
Knows, like Sage in Australia. I don't know whether you heard of them. They're a big educator that went bankrupt or went bust, and everyone that was studying with them right at the end of their Cert 4 lost everything. So it's like, and even qualified trainers that didn't have their certs delivered yet, they lost everything. So unfortunately, if you studied with Sage towards that time, it was a waste of time and unfortunately a waste of money. So it sucks. I had a client who went through that at the time, and this is going back a few years. But anyway, get him to study again, Tash. But your rent will be done, where you want to be. I trade the home gym for the gym. Trade the home gym for the gym. Look and see. He should just look at his fiance and yourself, and look at where you've come. Right? Look at where you've gone. And that's that. I've got a question quickly here, Ron. We'll go to you in a second, but quick question here as well. Is he still here? AJB, there he is. All abilities, exercise, and fitness, my man, brother. Who told you about Stripe? I know you're eating. Pause. Everyone's eating. Everyone's eating. But yeah, Stripe over PaySmart? No, hell no.
Yeah. No, I was in the gym actually, ironically, yesterday, and I've had a blast from the past. I'm just getting a delivery right now for a new bed, actually. I bumped into someone who I'd known from about 10 years ago, and I just bumped into him the other day, and I saw him again yesterday. And he was because I was asking him about direct debit companies and all that, because he does something along those lines with his company. And then he brought up to my attention, look, this is a good option. However, maybe have a look at something either like Stripe. So I was like, what the hell is that? And he goes, it's a company online that does direct debiting and all that. Have a look at it. And if the answer is no, then, well, we can explore your options. So I just wanted to see what your thoughts were about Stripe versus PaySmart.
Yeah, you know when you use the graphic designer, in-house graphic designer that we have, bro, you paid via
I do.
Stripe.
Sorry?
You paid via Stripe.
Oh, okay, right.
That's Stripe. Look, so just in relation to direct debits and stuff like this, it depends on your scale. So the quick answer is no, but the fees are very high. However, if you've got a product or you've got something like with Strike that we have, so I always have to say Strike uses Stripe, so STRIPE. But for Strike, which you guys know is what our educational platform that we've built that's getting integrated with the educators at the moment, and we're in talks with, that uses Strike, but the fees that you pay are high. They're higher for multitudes of reasons. If you're an Australian-based personal trainer, I recommend that you use I recommend that you use PaySmart. I recommend that you use Easy Debit, Easy Pay, Go Cardless if you're in the UK. We use Go Cardless over here as well for some clientele. But PaySmart, for me, is the loyalty to PaySmart. I've been with PaySmart for 10 years. But with that being said, hopefully that answers any direct debit inquiries. Ron, what have you got?
Yeah, I was just going to weigh in a little bit on those cancellations and stuff like that. So I work in a shift work town, which can make it a little bit harder as well. Like one of my clients get a phone call going overtime. I'm like, yep, no worries. And look, it could be a couple of hours before. I know when I've had sessions, let's say I had one at 3 to 4. My mate got called up going, he needs to come in earlier to do I think it was like a 16-hour shift. I said, I'm not even going to have a bar of that. I said, no worries. Cool. I cut my losses there because at the end of the day, him doing overtime, he still pays me. If I start biting back at him for him doing extra work and stuff like that, he's going to be like, hang on a second, I'm doing this so I can pay you. So I'm not going to bite that one. As far as cancellations, I kind of look at it as an extra hour to myself. So when Jude posted that video of that book, every time I had that little bit of downtime, it wasn't I've had a cancellation. That's a different side of it. But then I'm like, hang on, I've got my phone, I've got my headphones. Let's chuck in and start watching that. I've got time to fit in a meal. I've got a lot of time, a little bit more time to myself to go, hey, what can I actually do to better myself and my business as well? Whether that might be reorganizing a program or just touching up on certain things with nutrition or sitting down with my phone, messaging a couple of clients, little things like that to try to fill that time to go, it's not wasted anymore. All right, I'm not getting that income anymore, but I can make it better for my time rather than training somebody. I know at the end of the day, I struggle with a couple of hours here and there, and I'd love another hour in the day. But in saying that, I could utilize my time a little bit more, coming up to that laziness. I can go, hey, I've got an hour in the gym. I might train some core. All right, I might do a little bit of cardio, even just kind of get my mind a bit right about certain things and structure my days better. Right, what am I doing tomorrow, the day after? Rather than going, client's cancelled, going, all right, client's cancelled. It is what it is. Move on. There's nothing you can do about it. You can't go drag him from work or wherever he is in there. Someone who doesn't want to work out that cancels on you, that is their loss. All right.
That's right.
That is purely their loss. Make it your gain. Don't make it your loss too.
It's a very, very, very good point. And look, utilize the time, even if someone cancels on you late. That's why you build them, because your time is valuable, but then utilize that time, right? Utilize it. Ruben, we're going to head over, brother, into, because I know you've got your hand up, dude. Are you coming over across into the marketing marathon?
Oh, yeah, I was just about, I raised my hand because I was going to say it probably works best if I don't. Is that all good, or do you really need
No, dude. Like, dude, if you've got stuff to do, go get it done. But
Okay.
like, tighten up your business systems, get all the business docs done, drop me a message, and then marketing marathon, like try to attend them if we can, where we actually specifically go through marketing strategies for every single person. Make sure that you've got what you need to start growing. So maybe next week, but then also we've got a marketing marathon happening in about 2.5 weeks, getting ready for Christmas. So yeah, just keep those slots available in your mind, brother, but well done.
Awesome. Cheers. Thanks. See you guys.
All right, guys. We'll see you all in the marketing session next, guys. Let's go.